It looked harmless. Slap shot from center ice. Routine. Unthreatening. But 25 seconds later, everything had changed. For Vancouver, for Detroit, for Dan Cloutier. This is the story of the goal that broke the Canucks. The 2002 Vancouver Canucks were never expected to challenge hockey royalty. They finished the season with 94 points, barely edging out Edmonton for the final Western Conference playoff spot.
Lost it here, though, and they score! And Marcus Naslund has his second of the first.
Their reward? A match with one of the greatest NHL rosters ever assembled. The President Trophy winning Detroit Red Wings, featuring names like Yzerman, Shanahan, Fedorov, Hall, Hasek, Chelios, and Lidstrom. But to everyone's surprise, the Canucks stormed into Detroit and stole games 1 and 2. After a 5-2 blowout in Game 2, the Red Wings were booed off home ice. Another playoff meltdown seemed inevitable. Another first-round embarrassment loomed. Detroit was unraveling again. Detroit wasn't just expected to win in 2002. They were built to win. After a shocking first-round exit the year before, owner Mike Ilitch opened the checkbook. Dominik Hasek was traded in. Brett Hull and Luc Robitaille signed in free agency. The result? 116-point season, 51 wins, and a roster stuffed with future Hall of Famers. And still, they were down 0-2 to the underdog Canucks. This wasn't supposed to happen. In Game 3, they found themselves tied 1-1, late in the second period, in front of a hostile Vancouver crowd. And then, it happened. With under 30 seconds left in the second period, Nicholas Lidstrom collected the puck at center ice. Hall of Famer, 4-time Norris Trophy winner, a man nicknamed the Perfect Human. But this shot wasn't perfect. It wasn't even a scoring attempt. It was routine. A regular old slap shot, maybe to generate a rebound, maybe just to kill some time off the clock. But Vancouver goalie Dan Cloutier misread it. The puck dipped, skimmed the ice, and slid under Cloutier's glove.
It skipped past Cloutier.
A stunned silence fell over GM Place. Detroit led 2-1. Some goals are physical, some are psychological. This one was both. Vancouver skated off the ice with 25 seconds left in the period. Not just trailing, but mentally rattled. Brendan Shanahan scored early in the third, and the Red Wings won Game 3, 3-1. They wouldn't lose again in the series. Detroit rolled to victories of 4-2, 4-0, and 6-4, eliminating the Canucks in 6 games. And from there, they never looked back. 6 weeks later, the Red Wings lifted the Stanley Cup, their third in 6 seasons. For the Canucks, the Lidstrom goal became one of the biggest what-ifs in franchise history. What if Dan Cloutier had made the save? What if the Canucks entered the third tied 1-1 and held off Detroit?
You know, if I don't let that in, it might be a different game, but it's over with now, and it's by me, and that's all.
Could they have pulled off one of the greatest upsets ever? Could it have changed the course of the Mark Crawford era, or the West Coast Express, or Cloutier's legacy? Vancouver made the playoffs 4 more times in that era. They never made it past the second round. They had stars, they had momentum, but on that night in April, they lost control of the series with 1 shot. So, what was next for Cloutier? First, a little backstory. The Canucks acquired the former first-round pick netminder from Tampa Bay during the 2000-2001 season, sending Adrian Aucoin and a second-round pick to the Lightning. Cloutier took over the starter's crease at the onset of the 2001-2002 season with the expectation of stabilizing a position that had been in flux since the departure of the franchise icon, Kirk McLean, in January of 1998. After Pat Quinn was relieved of his duties as GM, McLean was packaged in a deal to the Hurricanes that brought Sean Burke to Vancouver. A notable name from his time in Hartford, Burke began a 3-year stretch of turnover in the Canucks crease. He lasted only 16 games in Canucks colors before being swapped for Garth Snow in a trade deal with the Flyers. Snow would start 65 games in the following 1998-1999 season for the Canucks, backstopping the team with a .900 save percentage and a .293 goals against. He set career highs in that season in wins with 20, shutouts with 6. Unfortunately for Garth, it wasn't enough. As in 1999-2000, he lost the starter's position, playing only 32 games and leaving for Pittsburgh in free agency that summer. The 1999-2000 Canucks saw the crease split between Snow, Kevin Weeks, and former All-Star Felix Potvin, who was acquired via trade from the Islanders for a package featuring the aforementioned Weeks. Potvin became the 2000-2001 season as a starter, with veteran Bob Essensa signing in free agency to back him up. the Canucks finally seem to have a stable goaltending duo to backstop an up-and-coming roster. The Sedin twins were rookies. Marcus Naslund scored 41. Felix Potvin had one of the worst seasons of his NHL career. His .887 save percentage and 3.08 GAA necessitated yet another move in net. Dan Cloutier had lost his starting job in Tampa to our old friend Kevin Weeks, and Brian Burke made the deal for the 24-year-old goaltender on February 7, 2001. A week later, Potvin was shipped out, with the Canucks receiving only a third-round pick for the netminder from the LA Kings. Potvin would find his game in Hollywood, finishing 7th in Vezina voting during the 2001-2002 season before retiring as a member of the Boston Bruins during the 2005 lockout. The game of musical chairs appeared to be over. Dan Cloutier, for better or worse, brought stability to the Canucks crease for the first time in 40 years. Many Canucks fans will remember Cloutier for this one goal, or for simply not being good enough during the exciting era of Canucks hockey. But from 2001 to 2004, Cloutier started 179 games, winning 97 of them, with a save percentage of .908 and 14 shutouts. The 2003-2004 season was arguably Cloutier's best, with a .914 save percentage, 4.4 goals save above average in his 60 starts. Cloutier would suffer an injury in the Canucks' first-round playoff series against rival Flames, setting the table for Alex Aul's memorable 3-game stretch. After the lockout in 2004-2005, Cloutier signed a 2-year deal to stay with the Canucks, but had a concussion and a partial ACL tear that ended his season after only 13 games. Well, that would be it for Cloutier's time in Vancouver. In a blockbuster move that June, the Canucks acquired future Hall of Fame goalie Roberto Luongo, and Cloutier was sent packing to LA. For Lidstrom, it was just another play. But in Detroit, it became legend, the moment that saved a dynasty. Without it, there may be no cup in 2002. No fairy tale ending for Scotty Bowman, no coronation for Hasek. Lidstrom didn't mean to score, but he did. And in that one moment, from 90 feet away, it changed everything. In Hockeytown, it's known as a slap shot heard around the rink. In Vancouver, it's still just called the goal. One shot, one mistake, one unforgettable moment. This was Lidstrom's goal from center ice, and it broke the Canucks.